Hello and welcome to another video brought to you by AllFreeJewelryMaking.net and KeepSiteCrafts.com. Today we're going to make these great dangly hoop earrings made with seed bead dangles in a great pattern. I'll show you how easy it is to put them together. So to make these earrings you will need two 4-inch pieces of 22 gauge wire, or if you prefer you can purchase wire that's already made in a hoop. I had a package of these which I've used up, and it occurred to me that really it's just an eye pin that's been bent into a circle. So it's nothing too complicated, and it's certainly something that you could make yourself, and I'm going to show you how. So it's up to you. Two 4-inch pieces of 22 gauge wire or two hoops like these. 14 head pins, a few, I think you only need 16 seed beads, clear or silver or whatever color your findings are to match, and I'll explain that why in a minute. And then seed beads in your choice of colors. I picked this blue mix that I really love, but you know, it's a really great look to have them all in these colors. It's really pretty. It'd be nice for a wedding or something springy. Or consider just a mix of all different colors would look great, just random. It would go with everything. So anyhow, to get started, the first thing we're going to do is make a loop at one end of our 22 gauge wire, and you do that by grabbing onto it with a pair of round nose pliers and just keep twisting until the end of the wire meets itself. Use your pliers and flatten that out, and then go ahead and grab that loop and bend it, and that's called breaking the neck, so that there's a bend there and the loop stands centered on the wire. Then we're going to be using our 1-inch dowel to shape our hoop. Go ahead and put the eye right flat against the dowel and hold it there with your thumb, and then just wrap the wire the rest of the way around. You can use any round shape that's approximately 1 inch in diameter. And that's it. It's that simple. And then you can repeat to make your other. Now after you have made your hoop, your wire hoop, you just want to take a minute, find some kind of a surface. You can buy a bench anvil, which I haven't yet, and I'm just using this piece of hardboard with an old piece of rotary cutting mat on it to bang on, and a little jeweler's hammer, and just bang on it. You don't have to exert a lot of force. You don't have to beat it up, flatten it out, by no means. Just this little bit of banging will actually serve to work harden your wire, that's really all you need to do, and that will help it keep its shape. The next thing we're going to do is start stringing seed beads onto our eye pins, and this is the tedious part. It takes a little bit of time to pop them on. This squishy little mat actually helps, and you might have a better time of it than I did, because this particular mix, the beads are not consistent in size, nor are they consistent in diameter, so there are some that were actually too small to go onto this size eye pin. And you're just going to keep stringing, and each earring has 7 dangles on it. So let me lay that out and show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So of course the longest is in the middle, and on the longest one you're going to string, see if I've got these right, 1 inch of seed beads. So you're going to string 1 inch of beads. Then on the next two you're going to string 3/4 of 1 inch of seed beads. on the next two, you string 5/8, 5/8, and then on the last two you'll string 1/2 inch of beads. So the biggest jump is a 1/4 inch difference between the middle one and then the ones on either side of that, because that really emphasizes the point of the V. And then we go down 1/8 of an inch on each one from there. So once you have that done, you'll have to do that twice. And then we just make loops at the end of each of these to make these into dangles. And I'll show you on one of these how to make a loop. You will need a pair of chain nose pliers and a pair of round nose pliers, and it's the same way I've showed you to make loops many other times. But here they are all finished, and let me just grab one and show you. Now when you grab this with your chain nose pliers, these are glass beads. Most seed beads are. So be careful that you don't grab onto the beads because you'll crush it, and then little tiny bits of glass will go flying. Not a good thing. So give yourself a little room so that you don't crush the bead, and then bend your eye pin to a 90-degree angle. Put your round nose pliers right in that bend and start your loop. You'll only be able to get about that far. So reposition your round nose pliers, finish your loop, get a nice pair of close cut wire cutters, and trim off the excess. And then use the flat part of your round nose pliers to flatten that out. Again, moving the beads out of the way so you don't crush them. Otherwise you have to remake it. Not fun. Shape your eye nicely. And there we go. So once you have all of your dangles made, again this is enough for one earring, then it's time to string them onto your hoop that you made. Actually, before we do that, there's one very important thing you need to do. If you're going to make your own out of wire, you need to take a file and file down any rough parts, any burrs, and it only takes a moment, but you or whoever's going to wear these will thank you. And you actually don't want to file it to a point, but make it flat. And then it's time to string on one of your clear or silver, or if you're using gold seed beads. And the reason we do this, you'll see it when it's done, is that it spreads out our dangles a little bit so they hang more independently and a little more nicely. And using clear or a color that matches the hoop just makes them look like they're floating. I mean, you could certainly experiment with other beads. So I'll be back once I have these strung on and show you how to finish it. Alright, so I've gone ahead and strung on all my bead dangles and also the seed beads, and you can see that these clear seed beads just act as spacers, and because they're clear, they just kind of make these look like they're floating. So the final step to finish up your earrings is just to grab this end, not quite 1/4 of an inch down, and give it a gentle bend. You don't want it too bent, because this is what's going to hook into the loop after you put it through your ear. And that's it. All done. So here's another look at our very cool earrings. I hope you've enjoyed this project and that you'll give it a try. Be sure to check out keepsakecrafts.net for more jewelry and crafting ideas and inspiration. Thanks for watching.